He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another story time. Hey, Ange fam, welcome to He Not My Man. Okay, picture it, Sicily, 1952. Nah, this story time basically is about how it would be Nia's dudes, but the girls would be mad at me. Let's get into it. So remember, if y'all watched the slumber party, me and Nia became friends due to Pinky in the slumber party. Now, mind you, we were kids back then. I don't feel no type of way about nobody. To be totally honest, we adults now. It's like I'm just telling my experiences and stuff that I remember from my point of view. As I stated my disclaimer, I ain't bashing nobody. This is just my point of view of the things that I remember and what I went through, and this is my video diary. So during the summer party, me and Pinky were cool. Like we were real cool. We was really good friends, and I didn't understand what was the issue. But like I said, we were kids, so train of thinking back then, I'm pretty sure it's not the train of thinking now for some people. For some people, it's not the train of thinking now. But back then, I guess Pinky felt like she needed to lie to keep me and Nia apart because of something she heard Nia say. I didn't even know Nia at the time, so this was something she needed to do to keep me and Nia apart because she overheard Nia saying something, and then she kept trying to create. Well, she did. She created animosity between me and Nia, even though we didn't even know each other. But me and Nia ended up being at the slumber party together because we had a mutual friend that we was cool with. She was cool with. What did I call her? Cher. I call her Cher, right? I think it was Cher. We called her I think it was Cher. We was cool with Cher. Cher was cool with her. I was cool with Cher. And so Cher was like, we gonna settle this at the summer party. Me and Nia ended up being cool and ended up finding out that Pinky was the catalyst and she was a liar at the time. The whole time Nia didn't even remember saying the stuff that Pinky overheard. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Me and Nia are now cool. We cool. We kitty kitty. We cool. And we end up becoming friends. We end up becoming best friends and being friends throughout the school year. So at this point in time, what grade are we in, child? Are we in 10th grade? I think we're in 10th grade. I think we're in 10th grade. It's either 10th or 11th. It's not ninth. It's not ninth. Anyway, Nia's the pimp. And okay, I won't say she's a pimp. Let's put it like this. During this time, a lot of the black mothers was putting us on birth control. Here's the thing. When I got on birth control, I got smaller. Nia got on birth control, Nia blew up. I remember her mama having to help her with her cheerleading uniform because her breast blew up. She got a booty, she got thick. And Nia was enjoying it, and I ain't blaming her because it was hitting her in all the right spots. Like it fit. You know how some people blow up and it don't look good on them. Nia blew up and it looked good on her. It fit just right, and she was an athlete or whatever. So, and I remember her mom complaining because the top of the her cheerleading uniform, like she had to fight because once she got on birth control, like her breast got bigger, and Nia didn't have breasts previous like that. So she was she was she was fighting to get the shirt on her uniform, and so I'm sitting back laughing, and she said, "You over there, fuck." Too early for me to cuss. You over there laughing. You need to come help me. So I'm helping her fight to get Nia uniform shirt on for cheerleading. Anyway, I said that to say because Nia was thick and all in the right places, Nia had a roster, meaning there's not very often Nia was single. So it would be like Nia would have a boyfriend. 2 weeks later, she got another boyfriend after that relationship was done. Like once that relationship was over, 2 weeks later, Nia got another boyfriend. Like it was just You know what I'm saying? Like she very rare was near single because the dudes was on her, meaning pimp wise. That's why I was like, she was a pimp. She had a roster. All my friends, most of them had a roster. Most of them had dudes after them. Most of them did. So all of them were pimps. All of them. I was just this, nice little single child of God. Anyway, so yeah, so this particular dude, Nia had been out of the relationship, her previous relationship. I think maybe I'll give it a month. I'll give it a month. I really don't think it was a month. I think it was 2 weeks, but I'll give it a month. I'll give it a month. And so she had started dating this dude. We're gonna give him a name. What his name gonna be? I wanted to call him with with green eyes, call him before she passed away, but I'm not gonna do that. Let me see. What name do I want to give him? I don't know. Hold on, let me give him a name. We're gonna call him Silas. So she had started dating Silas, right? And so she was like, girl, look, Silas gave me a card. He's so sweet. He's being nice. And I was like, Silas. Why did that name sound familiar? And so she was like, oh, because he used to date, dang, I got to get her name. Hold on. Oh, because he used to date Ava. Ava, they live on your street. I said, Ava. I said, wait a minute. He seemed to give out like cards and roses like it's nothing. She was like, huh? I said, ask him if he gave Ava like a rose and a card and a bear or something for Valentine's Day. And so she was like, what? And I was like, just ask him. And so she, we hung up. She had called me back later on. She was like, yeah, why you asking me that? And I was like, because I remember Ava on the bus, like bragging about it. I remember she was like, oh, he's so sweet. My man's so sweet. Because he had pulled up on her at her house with his sisters. Now, one thing about his sisters don't make sure they was helping him be Mac, Daddy Mac. They would help him when it came down to courting his girls or whatever. They would make sure like he was treating his girls nice, to be totally honest. And so it was like Valentine's Day, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't on a weekday, it was like on a weekend. And so she was on the bus and she was talking about, oh, he pulls up on me and he bought me a bear, he bought me a car, he bought me roses on Valentine's Day, my man. You know what I'm saying? Like going on and on and on. So it was like I remember her talking about it because it was like very rare that Ava had a boyfriend. And so it was like with this dude, she was talking so much about him, which it wasn't bad stuff. So it was like, okay, I understand why she's talking about him now because you know what I'm saying? Like when you've been through some frogs, you gonna brag about the prince, right? So when somebody treats you nice, you gonna brag about it. And so she very rare had boyfriends because in my opinion, Ava wasn't the cutest thing, but I mean, everybody got their own taste. We all ugly to somebody, you know? But it was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, so when Nia told me about the card, and I was like, this dude be giving out cards. That's a consolation prize. And I was like, did he give somebody else the card? And so she was like, they're not together no more. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool or whatever. I was like, I just know I remember the name and I remember hearing cards. So I was like, okay, all right then, Silas, I hear you, I see you. Okay. So she was like, yeah, like, like you think I should give him a chance? You think he cool? And I was like, girl, if you like him, you like him. You think it's been too soon since the last relationship? Do you care? No. So go for it. If you like him, you like him. Give him a chance, give him a chance. So they end up dating. And at this point in time, they have been dating and have been boyfriend and girlfriend for a good little minute. I would say maybe like 3, 4 months. Maybe. Might have been less than that. Anyway, this story time should be very short. Should be. Anyway. So at this point in time, he was saying, Silas, like we was all hanging out because Silas was on the basketball team, Neil was the cheerleader, and I'm on the basketball team. So after practice and stuff is over, a lot of us like we would go eat or we would go hang out. We would be at Nia's house. I was always at Nia's house. And truth be told, like her mama didn't play about me. She didn't. She didn't play about Silas either. So it was like we was out, most of the time hanging out at Nia's house. And so we would have a conversation, and Sally started saying like how Abba like had started being crazy. Like she just stare at me. She just be standing there, like we be in the hallway, she just be staring at me. And I was like, but you put that thing on her. You put that thing on her. He said, no, it ain't. No, it ain't even like that. I ain't even like that. I don't know what's going on. That girl crazy. That girl crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he was like, she said anything to you, or she said anything on the bus, like said anything to you any kind of way? Nah, because why would she say something to me? I'm not dating you. Just because me and Nia cool, my trainer thinking, you shouldn't have no issue with me. That ain't you, not my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you and Nia together. So if she got an issue, she have an issue with Nia. And I was like, but y'all went together, right? Like y'all went dating still when you started dating Nia. He was like, no, like it was over. It was over. Like that girl crazy. She crazy. And I was like, well, I don't understand what would be the issue. So he was like, I don't know, like she just be staring at me though in school. Like anytime like I'm walking up the hallway or we in the classroom, I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you because I don't really know her like that. Like we every once in a while I may play together, but I don't really know her like that. Once we got older and stopped playing softball and stuff, I don't really talk to her like that. It's more like hi and bye, passing by, we ride the same bus type situation. Not really. I barely see them, especially during basketball season. And then after basketball season, I'm on the track team. So I barely see people when it came down to the bus. Very rare. So anyway, so yeah, so time had gone, I would say like 3 months. I'm on the bus. And usually I'm not on the bus. It's very rare I'm on the bus. So remember in these other story times I told y'all about Kyle. And Kyle was very, very feminine. And you was very, very messy. You were a starter. You would love to stir the pot, honey, at any given time. And you would push people up. You would edge people up to do certain things that you wouldn't do. But you would edge people on to do it. So when it got close to my stop, I heard him telling her, you should do it. You better do it. You better do it. I'm telling you, Alpha, you better do it. You better do it. And I'm like, the hell are they talking about? But not paying no attention because you shouldn't have no beef with me. Like it shouldn't be nothing with me. So before it got, I would say maybe 2 stops before it's my stop, Ava, who sat behind me, she come and sit in front of me, like maybe like 2 or 3 seats in front of me. Okay. Because their stop is like after the bus stops at my house, they're the next stop. No, it's one stop and then they're the next stop. So I'm thinking maybe you moving forward to get out the bus. I don't know. You don't got no issue with me. I ain't got no issue with you. It shouldn't be an issue. I'm not really paying you no attention, but I know this stuff. Know this stuff, but not really paying you attention. But I did notice like you move. So when it's time for me to get off the bus, you stick your feet out. And so when you stick your feet out for me to trip over it, so to speak, I turned around and looked at you like this. And she said, oh, sorry. And everybody in the back is laughing. And I was like, okay. So when I get to the front of the bus, my bus driver was like, what did she say? What did she say to you? And I said, she said, sorry for sticking her feet out. And so she was like, because everybody else in the back is pointing at you. They pointing at you and laughing. And I was like, oh, I don't even know what that's about, which I don't. I didn't. All she did was stick her foot out. And like I kind of tripped over it, turned around and looked at her with my fist ball, and she said, sorry. I got off the bus and went home. So 20 minutes later, Nia is calling me saying, Angel, what happened? What happened? They saying you fought all on the bus. Say what now? Girl, I was telling people she beat you up on the bus. What happened? What happened? Say what? Say what now? She's like, girl, are you asleep? Wake up, wake up. What happened? What happened? Ava said she beat you up on the bus. What but what bus? I said, girl, hold on. She said, what? What now? She said, Ava said she beat you up on the bus. She beat you up on the bus. They said she beat you up because you hooked me and Silas up. First of all, I didn't even know Silas. I knew of Silas through her, through listening to Ava's stories. The first time I met Silas was you introduced me to Silas. I said, and that girl did not beat me up on no bus. She didn't beat me up. I said, she put her little foot out. I turned around with my fist ball, looked at her. She said, I'm sorry. And I got out the bus. She was like, girl, what? That's what happened. That's what happened. Yeah. She was like, so she lying? Yeah, big time lying. Cause what? She was like, girl, no, I'm telling you, like she had called, she's calling around, she had called Silas and was like, I beat up Angel, I beat your friend up, I beat your friend up. I said, so Silas is right. She is crazy. Cause what is she talking about? And why would you want to beat me up? I'm not dating Silas. That's not my man. That's not my man. She was like, girl, oh, okay, cause I thought it was something. I thought it was something. I was like, yeah, now you should know better. You should know better. And I'm not saying that I can beat everybody, but baby, you gonna sure have a time when we fight. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I was like, okay. Oh, okay. I can't wait to get on this bus. I can't wait to get on the bus. Well, lo and behold, when I get on the bus, because I get on the bus before you get on the bus after me, and I'm in the morning, I'm saying, good morning, we fought yesterday. I don't know what you talking about. Right then and there, because Silas said I already said you was crazy. I already knew what it is, right? So Kyle get on the bus, and when Kyle get on the bus, now you back there yapping. So I pushed my books in the middle of the seat, turned around and stood up and looked at her and said, "Is there a problem?" You know. So that shut Kyle up and shut everybody else up. Shut up, cause I don't even know what your issue is anyway. Because Silas is not my man. Your issue is with Nia. Your issue really is with Silas. Oh, you shouldn't have an issue with Silas because if y'all broke up like you said y'all did, girl, that ain't your man no more. Let it go. So we get to school and all the rave is I got beat up by Ava. I said, make that make sense to me. Somebody please make that make sense to me. I said, go ask anybody on this bus who got beat up. Who got beat up? So then the lie gets turned around and was like, oh no, they never fought. She just put her foot out. Like I told Nia, she just put her foot out. And when she put her foot out, and she turned around and she said sorry. So the truth started coming out. Anyway. So years later, she starts dating another dude that Stylist knew. Like we was all like I told y'all, it's a small town. Everybody know everybody. It ain't too much. You just gotta be careful you're not dating your cousin. Most of the time, you just gotta be careful you're not dating the cousin. Most of the time, uh, I'm going out over to the other city, but those who dated in our town, just be careful you're not dating your cousin because everybody know everybody, everybody cousin child. Just make sure you're not dating your cousin child. Just make sure you're not dating your cousin. So anyway, she started dating this other dude. What we gonna call him? Do he need a name? No, we just gonna call him other dude. She started dating this other dude. End up having a baby for the other dude, right? Other dude, like they so far, I know as far as I know, like it's supposed to be going good or whatever. We don't live school, whatever, we out of school or whatever, right? So lo and behold, Ava sees Nia and Silas. She speaks to Nia, but doesn't speak to Silas. You still carrying something around from high school? We grown. Anyway, her and the other dude end up breaking up. Other dude start telling his story, his documentary, and he ready to say his story of how crazy Ava is. He was like, she crazy, she using my son, she using my son against me, she won't let me see my son, like she using him as a weapon. Like he's telling all his stories. Like he's literally on his documentary, My Life with Ava. He is telling his story. And so it's like, oh, okay, this girl is really crazy. And still to this day, like she don't talk to me and she don't talk to Silas, but she talk to Nia. How is you cool? Like, what is wrong with you? And to this day, we don't understand what's the issue, girl, because Silas broke up with you before he started dating Nia. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? And the whole time you're crazy. You're crazy. You're delulu. You're deranged. I don't understand what the problem is. What the problem is. So lo and behold, here recently, I see you and you was like, hey, give me a hug. And I guess it could be, like time is going on. And I guess maybe you come to your senses and you want to talk, you cool or whatever, and you letting it be. You letting bygones be bygones. It's like, because at this point in time, Silas and Nia have kids and are married. So at this point in time, you should have definitely let it go, because you shouldn't have been mad at me in the first place and then lying to tell people and you beat me up, which we, girl, girl. But you see Silas and don't speak to Silas. And don't speak to Silas, but you speak to Nia. And all this time, like I couldn't understand why you were lying to people and telling people you beat me up when that wasn't even my man. I was just cool with Nia. Nia introduced me to Silas. I didn't know nothing about Silas. It just boils down to the fact that you was crazy. Because the other dude said you was crazy too. Anyway, I told y'all the story time was going to be short. I just wanted to say, when it's not that girl's man, leave her alone. Like, leave her alone. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You need to be mad at Silas. Silas was the one that dumped you. Even though he was giving out complimentary cards and roses, that was his introduction package. Nah, Silas was being a gentleman because his sisters didn't play. And his sisters was making sure like he was treating women with respect and giving women what they deserve. So Silas was being a good little gentleman, and he was bringing Valentine's Day. He was door dashing before DoorDash existed. Silas was making sure his lady had her Valentine's Day gift, and that's what's up. I ain't mad at it, right? I ain't mad at it. But we couldn't never figure out like why this girl stopped talking to us. Still to where she thought she just started talking to me, but she still don't talk to Silas. And it's like, girl, to this day, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? People are weird. And that is the instance of, girl, that's not my man. It wasn't a long story. Told y'all it wasn't long. I stuck to it this time. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. See y'all in the next one. Bye.
I should have been dead, but no, I'm not. I messed up in the